Let's not get into an accident on the first day of recording this. This will be good. So, you might be asking, why are you recording something in your car at dark? Well, it's a good question. And really the answer comes down to, I've been thinking for a while that I need to get back on the internet. I need to come up with another sort of show, sort of something, vlog, just podcast even. But when it comes to sitting down and writing something, or sitting down and like actually doing the recording, I kind of get anxiety about it. So I figure the best time is going to be when my mind is active, when I have nothing else going on, when I can just freeform my thoughts like this. And the best time to do that is on the drive home. So I work an overnight shift. I work an overnight job, and I get out about 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 7:05 right now. I figure this is the best time to kind of sit down and record my thoughts. I wish I'd thought of this sooner, because now it's starting to become winter. It is October, mid-October, so it is starting to get dark. Starting to stay darker later. Not starting to get dark early. Well, I mean, it is starting to get dark earlier too. My thoughts are all over the place. This is the problem. It's part of the thing. So I figure maybe every day I drive home, I could have a little sit down, chill, chat session with the people of the internet. I don't intend on editing these at all. Maybe adding in a stupid intro or like a music track, if not already jam into some tunes, and just kind of talking about whatever the subject is for the day. So sometimes I'll be pulling some instances at work. I'm not going to use anyone's names. Drifting a little bit out of my lane here because I was scratching my nose. I'm not going to use anybody's names at work, obviously. I'll ask permission for anybody's names that I use that I know in real life. I know obviously my fellow bards aren't going to mind if I use their names on stuff, and my wife probably won't mind, but I'll double check with her. But yeah, so this was kind of my idea, and so I decided to commit to it because I've been thinking about it for about a week now, and there's no time like the present. So this is going to be vlog number 1, aka the intro, aka I have nothing to talk about today. That's not true. We did a lot of work today. I work in like a plant type environment, manufacturing, and I was talking with one of my coworkers today, who shall remain nameless, and we were talking about story ideas and like any good like stories. And he actually sent me a short story on lunch that I read. It was really good. Like, for what it was really well written. It was a little confusing at first, but I find a lot of things that you read are really confusing at first, because they're trying to set up the characters in a way where it's like, hey, we know what's going on, but without just being just 100% exposition. We have to ease you into the information. We have to have this in a conversational way to slowly leak out information. And I get that, but for a short story, it took about halfway through for me to understand what the characters were talking about, like even picking up with context clues. So it was really well written. He's very, from what I've read so far, he seems like he's a good writer, at least on his way to becoming a good writer. And then we had conversations throughout the rest of the workday about the rest of his story ideas, and obviously I won't share any of them here because I don't want anyone to steal them and take them, and he'll be bummed out if he tries to publish them. But it's some good story ideas. A lot of them were well developed. He had a lot of I gotcha moments in them, which I'm finding is more and more prevalent, especially in like the D&D verse, which is where my forte is in storytelling. So it did feel it almost felt like there was too much. I gotcha, but when you really break it down, there was like one gotcha moment in each of his stories. So again, it wasn't too bad. So yeah, that was fun. And I was talking about some of my story ideas, and we were just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. I think that's really cool. I think it's something that people need. Sometimes you just need someone you can bounce your story ideas off of, or any ideas. Like if you want to cook, be like, hey, would nutmeg go good in here, do you think? You can go on the internet and ask strangers, but I think having that support system where you can go, hey, person I trust, do you think this is a good idea? And conversely, I think that you should also try to get ideas from people you don't know that well, because maybe the people will coddle you and try to, pull, I don't want to say the veil over your eyes, it's the wrong terminology here, but try to, softball pitch you, we'll try to say, oh yeah, that's great, no, I thought it was perfect, when, they're too afraid to say, actually, it sounds a little derivative, and it sounds like, you're not even really trying, and, you never know, of course strangers can be like that too, but you're more likely to, I don't want to say hurt, but you're more likely to be honest with people that you don't know that well, especially if it's about something that they're trying to put out there. It's like, hey, that sounds bad, I don't know who would read that, obviously in a nicer way than that, but can I get over? Oh, no, I don't know if I can help you. He's not me over. Okay, thanks, girl. Anyways, so my thought of the day is if somebody is wanting to create something, and they have a real passion for it, and you have to let them down easy about it, definitely. Constructive criticism, golden rule and all that, make sure you treat them like, say it how you would want someone to tell you. Hey, how would I want someone to tell me, these videos are stupid? I'd want them to go, hey, I was really watching your videos, and I think you're getting a little too personal. Maybe you should just, ease off, or maybe don't make as many of them. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I gotcha. But then again, it could be my personality type. I could just be like, because if I heard that, I'd probably not make another video for 2 or 3 months. But at the same time, who knows if anyone's even going to be able to hear this, because it's so windy out there. But yeah, I'm always a firm believer in, make people feel like what they've done is valid. Make people feel like what they've created, and I would never lie to somebody about it. Might seem like a general platitude, me saying oh my gosh, I could never do that, but 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, I probably could not or would not ever do that. Sitting down and writing out that story like that. I've had story ideas. I want to write more stories. But I've been saying that since high school, which was 13 years ago. I ended high school. Obviously, it's never happened. Obviously, the only stories I write are bits and pieces of lore and background now for my Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, which I'm fine with, because when I start to sit down and write the whole story, I get overwhelmed very easily. Something I'm working on, definitely. But when someone comes to me with a story and is like, hey, I wrote this, what do you think? Unless it is just mumbled up garbage that I can't understand, 11 generations of Elvish father names, then I'm gonna be like, wow, I could never do that. That is and that's exactly what I told him. I was like, hey, this was really good. I asked him a couple clarifying questions, as you do. I'm sitting with the author. Why wouldn't I ask some questions? And but I mean, I really liked it. And I said exactly those things I said in the beginning of the video. I'm like, hey, you know what? Just saying, coming from an outside perspective, coming in, just because I don't know much about your world, it took a while to understand what these things you were saying meant. Since it's a short story, it's only a couple pages, maybe you should think about, getting to the point a little sooner, or at least trying to clarify it a little bit better. And then I told him, other than that, I thought it was great. I thought your use of words was awesome. You're describing, your descriptors were, I felt like I was there. Like I could feel it. I could feel the energy. I knew exactly what your character was going through. I was very, sympathetic to the whole plight of the situation, and that's really what we're looking for. We're looking, when we're writing something, we're looking to say, hey, is this believable? Even if it's the most unbelievable world and the weirdest characters, like, hey, could you believe that this actually happened to somebody? And for that story, I'd say, yeah. Given the parameters of the world and what was going on, and who, what, where, why, when, how, I could totally see that happening. And I felt for that character, and that's exactly what I told him. I was like, yo, great job. I want to hear more. And then he started telling me about the story for continuing the story. This was like a short story that could potentially lead into something larger, into another novel, or a couple novels if he went with background for one of his other characters in the story. And I thought that was great. So if he sees this video and he wants me to link anything, I will definitely do that for him. But at this point, I don't have any permissions or anything to post anything, so I will not be overstepping my boundaries again. Sorry if I'm rambling or repeating anything. Again, this is just word vomit. You're going to see me word vomit for, 14 to 16 minutes every day as I try to get these thoughts out. Or I might just be humming along the tunes, because sometimes you just need a good jam session on the way back home from work. And I feel like there's something good about that. Even if my videos, I'm not trying to monetize them, I don't have enough YouTube followers or anything, or even if people see them and are like, hey, and they're trying to monetize them, whatever, man, we're jamming some freaking tunes. No, I don't care. Make money on my videos. So anyways, that's where I'm at there. It's been 13 and a half minutes of me just rambling on about stories. It's not bad. I mean, it's no gravy talk, but it's not bad. Let's see. I probably don't need the slide anymore. Oh, man. Cool. Damn, I get those stupid things where I'm like, oh, man, and making these weird things that I do when I'm in the car alone. But welcome to my world. Game plan for today is to go home, take a nap, get up, maybe go help my mom do some stuff at her house, because she's in the process of moving, and she'd always appreciate some help, hopefully. She's off and my sister off today, so they might not need me, but in case they do, I can definitely do that. And back to work tonight. So it's gonna be about it. This light always takes forever. We're at a minute and 20 seconds now with this light. And this blinker is just going through my brain. Oh, look, green. No, this light's gonna turn red. Yep, every time. Every time. That's okay. Because YOLO, I guess. I don't know. Nobody says YOLO anymore. I'm so not hip. Guys, I'm gonna be 32 very soon. getting up there in age. I don't have a lot to show for it, so. A lot of hobbies. A lot of failed hobbies, too. Just jump from thing to thing to thing. I impulsively buy the thing I need for the hobby. I get upset if I can't buy the thing for the hobby, and then the hobbies usually peter out. I am what you would call a bard. Jack of all trades, master of none, teller of tales, singer of songs. Not well, by the way, but it's something that people say. It's one of those sayings, you know, people always say it, like, live your life, who cares what other people think, you know, everybody cares what other people think, you know, I care what other people think, this is why I make videos. I might get super self-conscious about the way I look, the way I sound, the way I dress, my content, but, you know, at some point, I'm just hoping to connect to somebody on the internet. I'm not trying to be super famous, I'm not trying to be that guy, but just trying to maybe get out what's happening in my life on the internet. Maybe connect with some people. Maybe my videos can help someone. Don't see how, but you know, if somebody gets enjoyment out of it, what's the harm? What's the harm? Anywho, I just ran over some roadkill. That was nice. Smells like dead animals. Anyways, yeah, so, again, you know, these are, you know, depending on lights, oh my gosh, we're at 18 minutes already. So depending on lights, this drive ends up being a little bit worse. I say a lot too, I need to work on that. But depending on the lights, this drive can be it's called Power Yawn. This drive can be anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. But now I am home, and now that I'm home, it is time to bid you all adieu. Thank you so much for watching episode 1. Don't know what I'm going to call this thing yet, but by the time you see it, it'll have a title on YouTube. Bye!